What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is White Gamer 7 here, bringing you a brand new video. And today I'm going to teach you how to score headers, whether it's corner kicks or set pieces. So let's get started. Alright, the first thing we're going to talk about is the timing of your B button or the circle button or whichever button you use. The timing is important because that's going to determine if you're going to win your header or if you're going to lose it. That's why sometimes I beat tall center backs and strikers in heading. In this situation, you see it's in kind of like midway, a little bit more towards me. For this situation, it's kind of midway. So for the most part, you kind of want it to be the ball midway, and then you go for the B button or the circle button. But in certain situations, it depends. Like in this instant, this was just a regular cross, and it was a bit further. It wasn't as close to me. It was a bit further to the guy crossing the ball. So it all depends. If it's a corner kick, you kind of want to know when to press the B button. For instance, in this one, there was 3 people around me, and the ball was only probably a second in the air. It wasn't even halfway. It was more towards the corner kick guy. And then I pressed the B button. Remember, my controller's up top in the right-hand corner, so you can see when I'm pressing the B button. So pretty much as soon as it leaves, you wait like a second or two, and then you press your B button or whichever button you use to go for the headers. In this situation, it was a bit closer to me, or like a little bit halfway, and then I went for it. In this one, it was really close to me because I did have a lot of players. So sometimes when you have a lot of players on you, you kind of want to wait for the ball to be closer to you. So that was it for the aiming, boys and girls. The second thing we're going to talk about is the aiming and goalkeeper positioning. For this situation, the goalkeeper is very close to me, so I aimed it first post. But if you look how I'm aiming it, I'm not aiming it completely to the left. I'm giving it like a bit of angle, because if I would have aimed it all the way to the left, it would have just missed or hit the post. So for this situation, we aimed it to the left but a little bit with an angle, and that's how we win this one. In this second situation, the keeper is out of his line, so I'm aiming it straight at him. Now I got lucky that this one went in because of the amount of power I gave it, which we'll talk about it later on. But if you see the aiming, I aimed it straight towards him. For this third situation, I see that the goalie keeper is leaving his far post completely open, so that is where I'm aiming it at. This is why the goalkeeper position is important, because you want to be aware where the position, the goalkeeper position is, and where is the most space. So for this situation, kind of similar to the last one, goalkeeper and there's opponent in first post. We are aiming at far post with, sort of an angle diagonal, and completely open far post, and it's gonna go in eventually. They're all kind of similar, ladies and gentlemen. This is why goalkeeper position is important. We're aiming at far post because, as you guessed it, that's where the space is at. If I would have aimed at first post, it could possibly go in, but most likely not. So this is why we aimed at far post, since it was most open. So you guys are starting to get the gist of this, right? So wherever the goalkeeper is covering it, you don't want to aim it at. You can still make it, but it'll just be way harder. And this one, it looks like I'm aiming at first post, between first and then like the middle, but we're going far post on this one. In this final situation, as you can see, the keeper and the teammate is covering like that first post. So we are going for that second post, and you can see where I'm aiming it at. I'm kind of aiming it with an angle, so you always want to give it an angle depending on where you at and the keeper's at. The last and final thing we're going to talk about is the amount of power you got to give it. So every single clip that you saw here, I was close to the first post, or sort of close. The only clip that was further away from the net was this one that you guys are seeing right now on the screen. So when you're further away from the goalkeeper or from the net, you want to hold down the B button or the circle button for like about 2 seconds. Maybe not 2 seconds exactly, but a bit longer than usual. And then when you're close to the first post, you just want to tap the B button or the circle button. That is literally it, ladies and gentlemen. So the closer you are to the net, you just want to tap it. The further you are out, you want to hold it down a bit longer. I would say like 2 seconds. There's no really exact amount of time, but just hold it down a bit longer than usual. And then once you get everything together, this is how it's gonna look. I got it. I got it in front of him. Let's go! Let's go!
Just hitting it anywhere and it was going in. He jumped. He jumped those.
Let's go. Golazo. Let's go, boys. Oh my god.
I got it. Yes! Good shit, Gus.
Golazo! Let's go.